It is our patriotic devotion to duty to produce shells and more shells until the enemy is at our feet. The industry of Britain, employers and workmen can win this war. Our country being right, our country deserves to win, and we will win the victory. And when the hour comes, the workers will know with thrill that the factories of Britain have won a lasting triumph for the righteousness that exalted a nation. Don't be afraid to take a big step. You cannot cross a chasm in 2 small jumps. There is nothing so fatal to character as half-finished tasks.
We haven't the factories to make the munitions we need. The Ministry of Munitions will be staffed at the highest level of businessmen and launch their companies during the war.
We must build more factories quickly.
These men will be able to coordinate the needs of business with that of the state, and also reach a compromise on price and profit that's acceptable to both sides.
We need to find the best engineers and chemists to build a new factory. It must satisfy the need for more propellant, for more bullets and shells than we could have imagined. But where?
It will need to be a massive plant with good railway links to manufacture all chemicals on site and produce the cordite propellant ready for shipment to the shell-filling factories.
I conducted a survey of potential sites, and the preferred choice is an area 9 miles wide, straddling the Scottish-English border.
Are there sufficient locals to employ?
No.
So you will need to attract suitable workers from far and wide.
And the welfare of the workers is vital to ensure maximum production.
The local towns haven't the capacity for all the workers to lodge, so we propose building 2 new townships for the factory, and have seconded Raymond Unwin from the local government board to advise planning the new towns.
Well, the area is sparsely populated and marshy, so ideal for explosive manufacture, with the West Cumberland and Ayrshire coalfields close by rail, good water supply, and shielded by the Cumberland Hills.
And far away from the settlements.
Yes, we believe so.
Construction and recruitment of explosive experts must proceed with haste. Lives depend upon it.
The engineering firm Pearson's will oversee the construction, so they will engage the correct engineering and building contractors for the job. But they will need tens of thousands of labourers.
And thousands of production workers. With so many men fighting, we shall need women to answer the call.
The Ministry is in the process of purchasing the land required under the Defence of the Realm Act.
Extra, read all about it. July the 17th, 1915, women in London demonstrate for the right to work in war industries. Banners proclaim, women demand the right to serve, and the situation is serious. Women must help to save it.
In Gretna once, a little squad of workers strolled down Old Gretna Way and were struck by the beauty of a spot not far away. And when they look upon it, there it looks so sweet and fair. They said, let's make munitions works on that green patch over there. Then they dotted it with hostels, shops, and built the border hall. Introduced some lovely girls who answered the nation's call. Then they dotted it with matrons and women police all around. And when they had it finished, sure, they called it Gretna Town.
Local businessman Mr. Tartarus holds meeting at Station Hotel Dumfries. Concern that munitions factory will affect local business.
The purpose of this meeting is to point out that the Minister of Munitions, through the Labour Bureau, is advertising for a large number of women that will shortly be required at the new munitions works that's been erected at Gretna. The first workers recruited are unemployed fisher girls from the north of Scotland. The remainder will be drawn from this area and further afield. Wages will be 20 shillings a week for the first 3 weeks, and then 25 shillings a week once experience has been gained, and including free rail transit from Dumfries or Carlisle. Local employers of labour cannot possibly compete with the wages being offered at the factory. And other manufacturing towns like Annan, Carlisle and Langholm must be consulted so that we can preserve our vital local industries.
Long tune! Who's next? Anyone for the munitions factory? I say anyone for the...
Excuse me, sir. That'll be me, sir.
Alright, lad, where you come from? Have you come far?
Yes, sir. I'm up from down south, you see. I've been working on the barracks. I'll tell you something. They were filling them up with recruits as fast as we could build them.
That's the southern accent, lad.
Of course not. I'm Irish.
That's the shock, no, knee shock, no.
No, you see, the thing is, I've come to work on a munitions site. It's good money, I'm told.
Try not to drink most of it away, will you? I'm just here to direct you till you build it. You'll be assigned where you're working tomorrow morning.
Right now?
I've got some good news for you, some good news.
What do you have? What is it?
Right. Take the next train to London and get off at Glentarris Distillery. It's not much of a place, but the
Pardon me, sir. What? Did you say distillery?
I did, sir.
Take on, you dancer!
But that's where I got some bad news for you.
What is it?
Well, the distillery closed down in 1914, and it's now just temporary accommodation for you navvies.
Oh, I might have guessed. You should be a comedian, you with all them jokes.
Funny you should say that, and funny you should say that. I am a comedian, I am.
Are you really?
I used to work the music hall circuit.
Ah, fair enough then. Tell you something, give me your best joke.
You want a joke? Right, a joke. I got one for you. Is it one of my best ones, this one? One of my best ones.
Very good.
Right. A man walks into a restaurant and he says to the waiter, "Do you serve lobsters?" The waiter replies, "We serve anybody, sir."
So I'm trying to do your best, because that's not very good at all.
It was one of my best ones. It was one of my best ones.
Come on, give me another one.
I'll give you one more. I've got another one. Right. What's the difference between a stoat and a weasel? I say, what's the difference between a stoat and a weasel?
I couldn't tell you. What is it?
A weasel is weaselly distinguished.
Wait, whoa, hang on. What about the stoat?
Oh, that's totally different. That's totally different.
Here, I'll tell you what. I'll give you one of my own jokes.
You got a joke? Have
Yes,
you?
I've got a joke of my own, you see.
All right, well, keep it clean.
Oh, of course, sir. Of course. Right. Me mar and me dar work in the iron and the steel business.
Right.
Right? My mum irons and me dad steals. I don't think you're quite getting that one, are you?
I don't get it.
No,
Give me another one. One more.
I'll give you one better one. Right. Okay. Why do you never borrow money from a leprechaun?
I don't know.
He's always a little short.
You great crack, you slut. Your train will be here shortly, but try not to get into too much bother. Try not to get into too much bother because you lot are getting a bad name for your drink.
Oh, no, sir. We're just hard workers, that's all we are.
I knows, but the local bobbies of it had to build a block into the town to stop you lot from carrying on.
Let me try.
Right. I'd suggest you find lodgings as soon as you can because there isn't much about. I say there isn't much about in the way of lodgings.
I see, yes, sir. All right then.
Right. What I got for you here, sir? I've got your tickets,
Okay.
a few bob in your tea can to tide you over until payday.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. On your way.
Thank you. See you later, sir. Oh, Johnny boy, the pie is the pie.
December the 1st, 1916, the Annandale Observer, Arthur Conan Doyle writes about the miracle factory.
One of the miracles of present-day Britain is this place I visited, Perhaps it's the most remarkable place in the world. Only little more than a year ago, say September 1915, it was a lonely peat bog fringing the sea, with a hinterland of desolate plain over which the gulls swooped and screamed. Then the hand of the Ministry of Munitions was stretched out to this lonely and inhospitable waste, for it chanced to lie with good rail and water connections, and not too remote from the centres of coal and iron.